What is up, everybody? This is Lyle, No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. I am coming at you from one of my least favorite places to park, and that's a rest area. I can't stand a rest area. But the time I was coming in last night, I knew that this rest area would have guaranteed parking. So here we sit just outside of Auburn, Indiana, delivering in a few hours. Had a chance to get a little relaxation in on this load. But I want to do a video on why I chose the driver I did to drive my second truck. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I was reading through some of the comments and things like that, and I don't think they were malicious or anything like that. What I do think is it kind of diminishes the reason that I chose her as a driver and my thought process in choosing that driver. So why did I choose the driver that I chose? You know, when I ordered this truck and I was looking for a driver, there were a few things that I definitely wanted to have in a driver. One of them was experience. So one thing I was able to see over the course of the last, 2.5 years, watching her on YouTube, was her progression from starting off, going through all the challenges she was going through, to where she is now. So I knew the experience was there at 3 years experience. Another thing that I was looking for was somebody that was happy with their position being a company driver at Prime, that would like to take advantage of some of the things that you would have driving under somebody that has a truck leased onto Prime. So she checked both those boxes. You know, additional reasons that I chose her: she's fearless. You know what I'm saying? She's out there, you know, not afraid to go anywhere. You know, not saying she's unsafe or anything like that, but, you know, a little snow's not going to stop her. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that that was impressive, a trait that I was looking for in a driver. She wasn't a solar powered trucker. She drove loads night, day, you know, whenever. I wanted to have that flexibility. I didn't want to put a bunch of pressure on my fleet manager to find loads that revolved around a certain time of the day. She checked that box. So those were the reasons that I chose up front. You know, it wasn't like, you know, we were friends or anything like that, because in reality, over the course of the last couple of years, I've met her once and maybe spoke to her 3, maybe 4 times on the phone before we actually met and got everything transferred over into the truck. So, I mean, we were friends, but we weren't like necessarily talking or anything like that. And there were several people that I may have talked to on the phone a bit more often that said they might be interested, that I didn't choose to roll with because they hadn't got that experience yet. So friendship or anything like that was definitely not a reason that I chose her to that was pretty close, to drive my truck. And the reason I'm saying it like that, I mean, I really don't like saying drive for me. I really like saying drive for her, because she can run that truck however she wants. Turn down loads if she wants to turn them down. You know, things like that. Different topic. So those were the reasons up front that I chose her. Now, I've learned a bit more just over the course of like these last 4 loads that she's on right now, that make me even happier that I chose her as a driver. You know, one of the things I didn't know about her was that she understood logs the way she did. You know, when I first spoke to my fleet manager about her, I was like, you know, I'm not sure, you know, how tight she is on logs. You know, we might have to keep this vanilla. You know, I know she's a runner, but I don't know if she's, you know, that educated on logs. And that was clearly a misconception on my part, because she definitely understands her logs. Almost every load that she's got, except for the one she's picking up today, she's had to use split logs to either pick up at a certain time or deliver on time. So she understands those logs extremely well. So that was like an added bonus, you know what I'm saying? Another reason that I chose her was I needed somebody that had a little bit of trust, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm getting into this, this is my first rodeo in this, you know what I'm saying? And I needed somebody that either had a trusting nature or trusted me. It could have been either one of those two, because I understand that a company fleet manager and a lease fleet manager might operate differently. My lease fleet manager isn't necessarily going to be looking for long distance loads or anything like that. So while I do have a very, I say a pretty high pay rate as far as cents per mile, and there's guaranteed pay and all this other kind of stuff that we have set up, I also let her know, you know what, just trust me on this. If the miles aren't there, I will make that up to you above and beyond any guarantees that we have. And I needed somebody that would trust that if I say something, that I mean it and it's going to get done. So I could have had somebody that did everything the same, but if that trust wasn't there, this wouldn't have worked. So she fits in that category, that it will work. So I think that I think what gets missed, if any of you guys have watched her videos before, is, like she said, I'm not a trucker, I just drive this shit. And she really doesn't talk too much about the trucking aspect or anything like that. So you almost kind of look at her or what the conception would be is that, okay, she's a hard worker, but she's not, she's kind of point and shoot, you know what I'm saying? So it would almost be like using a knife instead of a scalpel, where I'm understanding that you can use her like a scalpel. She's just not, she is very detailed, if that makes sense to anybody. And looking at even just her paperwork, she showed me one of her trip sheets and bill of ladings, and I mean, she's not going to miss out on any detention because she has her detention stamp already stamped out on her bills before she even gets to the 01 and the 90s. That's some stuff that I don't even do. I'll throw it on there if, there's some detention or something like that, but I'm just not that detail oriented. So in every aspect, she's exceeded every expectation that I've had. So I couldn't be happier with the choice. I just felt that I needed to kind of put that out there, because I think that, when anything in it, I think women kind of take, I think being a woman is harder anyway, because it's almost like you might not take, or not me, obviously, but some people might not take them as serious in this business, or that they can do the job at a high level in this business. And she's proven that wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I knew she was going to be a runner. I didn't know she was going to understand things as well as she does. And then you take somebody, on top of that runs 5, 6, 7 months in a row, stuff like that. Where are you going to find that? You know what I'm saying? To find somebody that is just out there grinding with without much time off. And I do have a little bonus in place for that. So she's going to be able to take advantage of that if she's out that long. Or it doesn't even need to be that long. But anyway, those are reasons I chose her. I just felt like I wanted to put that out there, that I didn't, you know, like, let's say I would have hired Brad Pitt to be, you know, my driver or whatever. You know, there wouldn't be a lot of people out there saying, oh, you know, he looks good, or, you know, whatever. It just seems like that falls on the females, and whenever that happens, I do think it kind of takes away from the actual job that they're doing. So enough about that. Hey, listen, if you are thinking about joining a private fleet at Prime, I know a few drivers that are looking for people to run some of their trucks. I don't want to get into the specifics of what their pay is or anything like that, because all those pay structures are going to be set up a little bit differently. But one thing I can tell you is they're typically going to pay more than what you would make as a company driver at Prime, with more flexibility, with having all the benefits of being a Prime employee. If you're looking for something like that, my email is going to be in the description below. Shoot me an email and I will put you in contact with somebody that's looking for a truck driver coming up here in the next couple weeks or so. I'm not sure which Peterbilt it's going to be, but it will be a Peterbilt. So interested, hit me up by email and I'll get you guys linked up together. Anyway, I do appreciate you guys stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. I appreciate it. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.